Stereo. All right, Justin, and we're live. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Dude, I'm doing wonderful myself. Just hanging out now with you, which I'm very glad to do.
It's very nice to be here, I gotta say.
Bit a few. Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. Welcome to the Gypsypotamus Experience. This is my buddy Justin I'm with today. This is going to be a very exciting conversation about many shit.
The most exciting.
Yeah. So if you're into shit, especially many different kinds of shit.
Cow shit. Bird shit.
Octopus shit. The most alien of shits.
It's the weirdest of shits, I gotta say.
Dude. Can you imagine?
That I've ever dealt with. I mean.
It's like alien tentacled thing. It was apparently alien. Like to scientists that are like studying it and stuff. Like the DNA within octopus and like squid and shit like that, like are within nothing else.
Really?
Yeah, like they
totally
have
unique.
like complete unique DNA.
Interesting.
It's fucking crazy. Have you ever seen a fucking video of an octopus, huge, maybe like gallon sized, like milk gallon sized like head, and like trying to squeeze its entire body and tentacles through a quarter size hole?
Actually, yeah, I saw a video of one of those escaping from a boat.
Yeah.
It wasn't a quarter size,
video.
but it was like this big of a hole or something like that.
Yeah.
And not this big of a squid. Like, I don't know how big the hell the thing, or how big of a hell the squid it was, but it's just a tiny little hole.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking bonkers. I remember watching another video where it was literally just like, it's going through like glass, so you could see everything going on. Like,
Oh, God.
yeah, right? Hope they would have at least like sanded off like the sharp edges for the squid.
File everything down.
You don't want to be dicks about it. Just want to see it do it. It's already been trapped and it's like freaking the fuck out, so it needs to like do something dire, you know? Otherwise, how the fuck would we observe that?
Animals can do some crazy shit like that. When we had Coco and she was pregnant with all those kittens,
Yeah.
she fit through this little spot in my old bed frame. It was like maybe 3 inches wide.
Yeah, and Coco's your cat?
The cat that my brother has now. She was the one that was pregnant.
Okay, yeah. That was like
When
a
she was pregnant,
pretty big
she was
cat.
like 8 inches, 10 inches wide with babies, you know.
Yeah,
She
that's crazy.
squeezed her body through this little 3.5 inch opening
With babies?
with the babies.
No. No,
Yeah.
what?
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
She
Why
also-
was that even necessary?
It wasn't.
Whoa. That's
was like-
nuts, man.
it
I
was
wonder
like
if
the
she was
cat
like
could-
even conscious about like the fact that she was pregnant with like kittens.
I think so.
Maybe
I
she
think
just
animals
like,
know that kind of
God damn, I'm getting fat. She's like walking around like starting to waddle one day. She's like, oh shit, got a new walk style now. It's called the waddle.
She was waddling too. I've never seen a cat waddle
Yeah.
until then.
Oh, yeah. Trying to laugh away here. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, dude, that's fucking nuts.
Ha, 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 ha.
Animals are wild, man. Speaking of animals, did you know that like all types of mushrooms are part of like the closest to the animal kingdom, like in nature?
Really? Like of a thing that's not an animal, you mean?
Yeah, dude. Like that we pretty much consider plants, which are also very recently found to be like very intelligent. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
You've never looked into the research? Okay. It's fucking wild. I was watching, listening to like a NPR podcast. It was Radiolab of like the plant intelligence, and you know, like they pretty much use mycorrhizal fungi, which is basically like it looks like a fiber, almost like a cloth, like interwoven and everything. It's like little tiny threads of like fungi that spread throughout the ground and like actually help nourish plants and stuff like that. They like help. It's almost like the internet of nutrients and everything, and like information.
I was just gonna ask. I heard about some like
how they gather.
Some national park that's got like a huge interweb
Mm-hmm.
of fungi underneath the soil.
Yeah, I think it might be in Washington State. Well, at least the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, there's like, I'm sure there's many like vast plots of like mycorrhizal fungi. I think there might be one in Washington State. That's I think like over a mile in diameter or something crazy like that.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's like the biggest living thing on the planet that we know of.
That's so ridiculous.
Right. That's fucking nuts. Allegedly. Like, not that I've seen the legit, research behind it, but there's plenty of pictures and, like, especially this dude, his name is, God damn it, Paul Stamets.
Was that the TED Talks guy?
Yep. He also did a TED Talk and,
you showed
like,
Saturday Night then.
yeah, and, like, many other things. That's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, that was, he's fucking done like some crazy ass research and stuff too about it, and apparently they also soak up like oil and stuff like that, like, and pretty much break it down as like a fungal sugar, which
Really?
is wild. Yeah.
That's nuts. Like,
Yep.
Like you mean like oil spill oil?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They like literally absorb it like into their diet basically, and yeah, dude.
I mean, those guys will eat anything, won't they?
I guess, dude, it's fucking nuts, like what they run off of. But yeah, dude, like they're the first things that like populated the earth. Apparently, they were here like hundreds of thousands, maybe like tens of thousands, or maybe hundreds of thousands. I believe it's either one of those like of years before plants even arrived.
Dang.
Before plant life was even based.
Maybe mushrooms were the like primordial soup,
dude,
so to speak.
Allegedly, there was a fossil, and yes, absolutely, and there was a fossil of a mushroom that was like 30 to 40 feet tall, like that huge of a mushroom.
Big mushroom.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking wild.
That's like build a mushroom treehouse in there.
Pretty much, dude. Like if there was intelligent life and like pretty much just straight talking, like if there were humans at that time, that would definitely happen.
It'd look like
It'd be like mushroom villages and shit.
it'd look like the Smurfs.
Oh fuck
But
yeah.
like real,
That would be
real
amazing, right? Hell yeah.
God, 30 to 40 foot
Dude,
mushrooms.
Smurfs? No, what's up? I feel like they could also just like eat it as food. I feel like it's like generally like a pretty good meat substitute in most things, especially for taste. I mean, like you're not obviously getting the same amount of substance like protein out of there, but you're still getting quite a bit of stuff. What is the stuff though that you are getting? That's the question.
I'm not a huge fan of the texture of mushrooms a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Not a lot of people are. It's like slimy.
A little spongy.
Yeah. Well, it's a sponge. I mean, like some of them are spongy. Not necessarily all of them. Like they're not all super porous like that.
I remember you were talking about one that actually does look like a little like sea sponge kind of. Weren't you?
Yes. Trying to think of what they were called. Yeah, they're like relatively rare to come by, and like they're pretty expensive. So if you find them, and like there's like I guess like a fake one too that like looks kind of yellowish or something. It's like something looks off about it, but it's like it's an imitator apparently, and it's like not good, and it might even be like poisonous or something.
Fool's gold of mushrooms.
Yeah, dude, you never want to mess with that, which is crazy that even like happens. But oh man, I forget what it's called. I think it's like. I forget. It looks like coral almost though. It's like so So like coral lichen, it's like brown and stuff. We'll have to look it up
That's
and
crazy.
put in some in the show notes.
So saying animated.
What?
So we could be talking about it, and you'll have a little funny picture of a coral-looking mushroom dancing around.
Right? That'd be pretty crazy.
So I've been playing around with magnets a whole lot lately.
Yeah, dude.
I've been trying to make some sort of semi-perpetual motion machine.
Wow.
Because real perpetual motion is not actually possible. But there's nothing wrong with semi-perpetual motion.
Right.
Like if something could run for like 150 years straight.
Right.
With only like a little bit of energy added in.
And like even create power.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like out of it. Yeah, dude. That's like talking free energy plus. That's wild. So you think that's actually possible?
I do. I think a lot of the problems that people come into play with is their magnets lose power over time, and their motor, so to speak, becomes less efficient.
Yeah, is that like a common thing that happens with magnets like that?
Yeah, if you're trying to make some sort of perpetual motion machine, because you're relying a lot on the magnetic force.
Yeah.
But you could do something as simple as putting a coil around the magnets and attaching it to like a solar panel or a wind generator or something that will just create electricity for the coil that you put around the magnet. Then that coil will re-energize the magnetic field that the magnet has. So even if it loses power over time, every so often you're re-energizing it anyway.
Whoa.
So it either won't lose power or it could even become more efficient depending on how well you made the thing.
So so you basically just had like a recharge machine there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like how often would you have to recharge it, you think? Like how often or how much does it diminish power?
Ideally you would want like the solar panel constantly recharging the magnets, because that would just make them stronger over time.
Okay.
If you could put more magnetic force into it than you're using out of the magnet,
yeah,
it'll create a stronger field, and it'll actually stay in the magnet when you turn off the coil.
Nice.
Science.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm kind of bummed about not going into physics. I think it was like 122 or something like that. I think I took physics 120 in college, and then I heard that physics one, like it was even like 125. Anyway, it was like the second level of physics was about magnetism and like I guess a bunch of other stuff related, and I'm kind of like very bummed that I didn't even venture into that.
I wish I'd learned a little bit about physics in high school, because I would have realized how interesting it is, because I've never actually taken any real physics course ever.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just learning all this shit on my own as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's kind of hard, especially like working like a full-time job and like taking care of your own life. Now that we're adults, like fully functioning, self-serving, independent adults. Like we gotta, try and find time for everything else like that.
Squeeze it in between the 40 to 60.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking crazy. Like how much time is dedicated to work, like rather than
dude, it sucks on the road too.
Play.
Because even if you have free time on the road, like you finish up work early, like what do you have with you at the hotel room? Like just a change of clothes.
Right.
You can't really get much done.
Mm-hmm. You can just like call up people and be like, yo, what up? I was planning on hitting you up one of these days, just chill and, well, not really chill, but maybe like just talk.
Are you implying I need to call you more?
Oh, no, dude. I mean that too, but I encourage you just keep connect with your friends, especially the ones you care about. Yeah, dude. I feel like everyone needs to do that. And I have like some friends, I'm not gonna name any names, but they like don't like just either like don't get to their phone or whatever, like they just then like don't get your call, and then just never hit you up.
I have to admit guilt to that. That happens to me more than often enough.
More than most. Yeah. I feel like I've been guilty of it, like, but feel like I haven't done that like for very long, because I feel like I caught myself relatively early on that, which is good.
I'm always like away from my phone for 2 minutes, and then I get a call, and then like I get distracted by something. I'm like, I'll call Jifko in like half an hour.
Yeah.
It's like a day and a half later.
Yeah.
10 days later.
It was like, so I was on this business trip. It's like, you were not on a business trip. You're just like sitting at home.
A lot of times lately,
like,
I have actually had to travel on the weekends, though. Not so much in the past 2 weeks, but before that, I was actually traveling a lot on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, no, I understand. Hey, dude.
It's nice traveling on the weekend, though.
Yeah,
because
how do you like it?
There's extra money involved when you travel on the weekend.
Right, because you're literally just paying, like, are you hourly or salary?
Salary.
Okay. So, well, I guess it doesn't matter then, even if you like don't go on a trip, right? You're still getting paid.
Yeah. But if I go on a trip and I have to fly out on a Sunday night or fly back on a Saturday,
yeah,
I get extra money for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, that's dope.
200.
It's like a little bonus. Nice. It's always that much.
Yeah.
Just never changes. Even if it's like a super long night, you get like your plane's almost rammed.
If it's 2 days, it's
like
400.
Here's 200. It's 4 days.
If it's 2 days, it's
2
400.
days.
It's 200 per day.
Okay. Damn.
So that's
Nice, dude. Do you get overtime by chance?
No.
Fucking companies that don't give overtime. My company also doesn't give overtime.
I gotta say though, they take care of the traveling guys enough with the car and the weekend pay that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Makes up for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even when your car is paid off, they're still giving you the same amount of money as if they thought you were still paying off your car. Or if you came into the company and you already had a car that was paid off, they'd just give you that amount of money and say, okay, you drive your car for work.
Whoa. And so that like absorbs like the expense of like the maintenance and like gas and everything like that too, right?
They pay for gas. They pay for maintenance.
Nice. It's fucking dope.
And also, they give you that money.
It's dope,
like
man.
I have a card for the... I just have to go anywhere that takes enterprise maintenance cards.
Yeah. Nice. Hell yeah, dude.
I'm rolling around too much on this anti-roll ball.
Yeah, dude.
It's just like... Wee.
You're like on an exercise ball right now. You're just bouncing around.
The yoga ball's huge over here.
Damn, dude. Is it a yoga ball or an exercise ball?
What's the difference?
I don't know. I've never done yoga on it. That's for sure.
Well, I guess that makes it an exercise ball, doesn't it?
I guess. It's more like a chair ball for me. But like I feel like just like trying to balance yourself on there like keeps your like some of your muscles going.
Tightens the
You know,
core.
Right. Oh, for sure. It definitely like is healthy and like helps you like motion wise. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like, and I feel like, well, I feel like I've heard of more and more offices around that actually support something like that and like allow their workers like at cubicles and stuff to sit on yoga or exercise balls.
That's awesome.
It is pretty badass. I feel like at that point, especially if they gotta like stay fancy and stuff, like they'd either have to be like all like the same color, you know, or like just be like all black. That would be with like a bow tie on them.
I was
Fancy.
I was at a customer site this past week in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess every hour on the hour, there's a guy that comes around to your workstation.
Yeah.
And he breaks up everybody in the room and he gets them to all stand in the middle of the room and they do calisthenics for an hour.
Whoa.
They jog in place for a minute or two. So every hour they loosen everything up and then they go back to work.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. And everyone does it?
Yeah.
No one's like a crotch about it?
No, they all do it. This isn't like office work though. These are like people on the production floor in a factory. They're doing like the same exact motion every time for an hour.
Okay.
And then they get to break up and
nice. Then dance around for a second. Nice. It's
Disco
cool,
time.
man. It's good that people are like motivated to do that.
I told the guy I was really happy to see people doing that because these operators, they're known for getting like carpal tunnel in weird places.
Dude, I bet, man. That's why they're like kind of, you know, shipping out work to robots. They don't ship very far. It's like this across the desk.
The trick is you gotta create a robot that still needs the operator there. You just want to make the operator's job easier.
Yeah. I feel like the people that do the operation jobs, like, yes, it's a job that they can get, but do they really want to be there doing that job?
Most of them no.
Do like people really grow up to be like, oh, you know what I want to do? Be an operator on an assembly line. That feels like a lot of it is great
like
job.
People who used to be like a mechanic at some place that was like going bad or something like that, or they got a family they need to support and they can't get any other job.
Yeah, damn,
so
dude.
they wind up operating this machine. That's why.
Dude, it's tough, man.
That's why some of the machines that I have to go around and fix are like trashed,
Jesus.
because these guys get paid like $10 an hour to work on this machine that costs more than they make in like 2.5 years, 3 years of working.
Damn. Dude, I wonder what that does to, like, I wonder if, like, how much they, like, work their employees, if it's, like, I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't know, but.
I mean, they do, most places that are big do at least 5 days a week, usually 3 shifts a day, at least 2.
Okay.
The big places are almost always more than 1 shift a day.
How do you know this?
So I've been to a lot of the big places.
You're like, yo, how's your job? Looks boring.
No, I see how because part of my job is to see how they do things at the plant, how the operator runs the machine. How
right.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? People could totally aspire to do that shit. And it doesn't even have to be shit. It could be just a great thing.
I mean, if you were somebody who was mechanical, that was an operator of a machine,
shift gears,
you could probably get some good salary being an operator mechanic and work on your own machine if it breaks.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Sounds pretty sweet.
You're pretty sweet.
Whoa, thank you. Just tack of a compliment right there. Damn, dude.
I don't know when it's coming. It's all about
this is good beer, by the way.
Which one do you have?
Oh, man. I have the APA from Brickstone. It's from out of Bourbonnais, Illinois. It's very, very smooth. I love it. I'm a very big fan of pale ales. So generally speaking, like this is like, I don't know, have had just like so many different pales that I've loved that like I can't even place them. I can't even rank them at this point because I just love all of them. And also like some of them taste like other ones. So
yeah, I mean, there's
like at one point
there's only so many variations on an original recipe or
right.
something like that.
Yeah, but
I do have to say
delicious.
I'm not a huge fan of the pale ales. I like the Scream IPA.
Oh yeah, is that what you're drinking?
Yeah,
Scream.
The IIPA.
International IPA.
I think it's got 2 eyes.
Yeah.
I've got 2 eyes.
Whoa. I guess so.
4.
Yeah. Like, what is with that though? That was that used to be an insult, right? Used to be. I'm sure it's still used today in like Amish communities or something. I can only imagine.
I don't think they give their kids glasses if they need them.
Dude, unless the glasses have like calculators in them, like I don't think they would use that, but I think they would still use glasses.
I'm pretty sure the reflection of light is a devil's work.
In fact, it's true. But in fact, because anything science is devil's work for them, I feel. Dude, can you imagine just like an Amish engineer? And he's just like, yeah, oh yeah, I do everything traditionally, like
Well,
wood gears and
I
stuff.
was gonna say, I
Like,
think gears
can't go metal.
Gears count.
That's going industrial.
Gears count as okay to use, I think, as long as they're wooden.
Yeah.
Maybe clay, a ceramic gear or something.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Of course, I've never even seen an Amish community. I have no idea what that would even look like.
It looks like a huge farm with a barn and no farm equipment.
Right. Bet.
Some horses.
Probably.
Some hoes, but not of the sexual persuasion.
Okay, I see where you're going there. See what you're saying?
Do you?
No.
You smell what I'm cooking?
No. Who are you, The Rock?
Pick up what I am putting down?
No. Unless it's lead. Pure lead. Know how heavy that would be? Just pure lead, like block of lead. And your aspiration is to like lift that lead like 5 times a day.
I think lead is one of the heaviest golds.
Dude, I'm pretty sure
metals, isn't it?
You'd get lead poisoning in no time.
Just through skin contact.
Right. Unless it was like covered in something like Plasti Dip, of course. Some like rubberized paint in general. And yeah, just coated or something, and then just like
I keep seeing this commercial for this sweet product, and I really want to get some.
Yeah, what is it?
It's rubberized spray paint.
Whoa.
That's literally like
the craziest thing I've ever heard of.
And when the paint dries, it's like you sprayed liquid rubber and it dried.
Really?
This guy builds this boat, or not builds, he cuts
That's what Plasti Dip is.
well, it's
Go on.
He cuts the bottom out of a boat and he replaces it with a screen door. Like
boat?
Yeah. And he replaces the bottom with a screen door.
Okay.
And then he sprays the screen with this rubberized spray paint.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes sailing on his boat, well, canoeing or something.
Yeah.
He takes his boat out on the lake right after that. And no water got in because of the rubberized spray paint.
Whoa. That's awesome. That's a pretty sick story. Yeah,
You made
man.
it sound boring.
No, man.
Your expressions on your face.
It's awesome that like you'd be able to be able to do something like that. You know, just like completely seal off with like it's almost like a thick liquid, like that's paint, you know, and then it just like dries rather quickly. Especially if you got like fans on it,
Yeah,
like hair fans. So
Heat
I've
gun.
dried it before in the past.
The professional term is heat gun.
It's like a little fly flying around here.
Little heat
Fuck
gun.
that fly.
Hit him with the heat gun.
Right? Dude, you don't want to like burn it though. That's the only thing. Or like melt it furthermore. Yeah. It's pretty nuts. So yeah, dude. Thank you very much for coming out
Hell yeah.
and coming on here.
Cheers.
Cheers. To life. And the third episode of the Gypsypotamus Experience.